Ghost, ghost, ghost. Hello everybody, long time no see. Yeah, so let me tell you something. I had to work a lot this summer. I'm a light and sound technician, so summertime I do festivals, I do tours, I do all kinds of stuff. Well, I'm not home, so I don't have time to do these things. So, alright. I'm sorry, took a while, but good things meant to be waited for. Alright, so on this build, it's gonna be for series box. People been asking me, can you show us how to do something for series box? So here it is. This is one for series. It's pretty freaking awesome. I just love this build. I've been vaping on it for almost a month until something happened. As you can see, I'm back to tubes because I had some mods with me. I had Hatties, I had a whole bunch of stuff. I went out of the city to do some show, and somebody stole my bag with my mods, with everything. So I end up without a mod for it. So I got myself another Hammer of God, which is not really for that build. The perfect mod is actually a series box for this build. Alright, so let's move on to this. Oh, by the way guys, I'm gonna tell you a little story at the end of the video about what happened. Actually, I could have made this video happen a little bit before until a little accident happened. I don't know if some of you guys seen, I had something to my eye because I got something into my eye. So I was out of work, out of everything for a little bit just because of that. So I'll talk to you at the end of the video a little bit about it. Alright, so let's move on to what you will need to do this build. Alright, so now this is what we will need for this build. Alright, it's pretty simple. Well, it's pretty simple. We'll need few gauges. Alright, to start with, we will need some 28 gauge nichrome or Canthal. Alright, for this I'm using the Claptoniac, one of my sponsors, that we will Clapton with 38 gauge nichrome. Alright, we will also need some 32 gauge nichrome, and as you can see here, I got some 32 gauge hybrid here that I'm gonna use also, so I can achieve some pretty nice color and different result into the vaping, because they lit up at different rate. So anyway, I'll talk about this a little later, but for now we will need some 32 gauge nichrome, or if you can get your hand on some any other type than nichrome, let's say maybe some anarchist wire, name it, something similar to that. Alright, and 32 gauge, just so we can have different lighten up time. But it doesn't matter, this one is still gonna be Clapton with 34 gauge nichrome, sorry. Alright, so we will also need the regular tool, which is a cutter, long nose scissors. We will need a 3mm, a drill bit, a wicking tool, and some wick obviously, and some of those tweezers, ceramic tweezers. Alright, so let's get it on. Back. So what we're gonna do is we will take about 30 centimeter, 35 centimeter of 32 gauge that we gonna straight. Alright, I already made my 32 gauge straight. I'm gonna put that 32 gauge into the chuck of my drill. That's the 32 nichrome that I'm putting in. If you don't have any 32 nichrome, you can use the 32 Cantle. Honestly, I use Cantle most of the time for the core of this, just so they all light up and warm up at different rate. So I'm gonna put my 38 gauge around this, and I'm gonna Clapton it. So our core, it's gonna be a 28 nichrome and 38 gauge nichrome. So let's go for the core. And you guys remember this, my little tube, to avoid the wobble. Okay, now we got our core, and this one, the way I do it, it's because, like I say, more groove there is where the juice can get in, better it is. So our core is at 28 38 nichrome core. If you don't have any 38 because it's pretty odd, you can also use 40 gauge, but it needs to be really tiny. Alright, so now we got our core, so we will go ahead and now do the Clapton wire. And for the Clapton wire, you gotta make it as long as you can. Alright, I can make it about like a meter long, but for the purpose of this video, we will do like two pieces of about, let's say, 40-45 centimeter long. Alright, it's gonna be easier for you guys, but I mean, it's thicker gauge because we're doing it with some 32 gauge again nichrome and 34 gauge nichrome. Alright, because this one, usually when you do micro Claptoning on other wires, you usually go way smaller than that. Like, let's say I usually do 38-40, but for this one it's gonna be a bigger one. Alright, and it's pretty awesome. I just love the result of it. Alright, so now we're gonna take a piece of 32 gauge, straight this, and now 34 gauge, and 34, yeah, I got it on my other roll, because that's the thing, the only thing I don't like about these rolls, yes, there's a lot of wire on it, but I can't put my finger to that hole like this, because you guys saw the way I do my Clapton. So I'm gonna take my 34 gauge, by the way, keep in mind, if this is not centered, let me focus a little more on this one. That's the thing, if this is not centered and it wobbles, it will break the tip all the time, and you'll find it pretty annoying. So I'm putting my wire through my tube to avoid the wobble once again, and let's Clapton this. There we go, we got one. Because that's the thing, we'll do one at a time. You should have enough with 50. Let me show you. You should have enough with 50 centimeter of it, but just in case, we will do another one. Alright, the crafting of the wire itself. So now that we pre-made our 28 gauge 38 or 2840 as a core, we will put the core into the chuck of the drill. Alright, okay, and now what we will need to do is to take one of those Clapton that we made, the 3234 Clapton, and we will place it aside. And now it's time for that 32 gauge of I don't know if Anarchist does 32 gauge, but anyway, anything similar to gold wire. At some point you can maybe use nickel, but I don't suggest it because nickel will bring down the homing too low. That's why I use hybrid. But a nice wire to get nice colors, and that lights up a little faster than all of them. Alright, and I already pre-rolled some wires 32 gauge on my roll, so I can't use my fingers as usual. What we will do is, what I do usually is I take the two wire, I'm gonna Clapton parallel, and I twist them together to start with. This is harder because we're gonna Clapton like quite big wires. Alright, and after that we'll take the core wire, the 28 gauge, and we're gonna twist it around it, back in the truck, make sure it's well centered. Okay, now it's nice and tight. Let me try to zoom in and stay in focus. I'm gonna take both wires, one that's gonna be right on the side. I usually put it on this side, and those two there. I'm gonna put my wire in my tube. Alright, so now nice and parallel. And you're gonna go slowly, never go too fast when you're at that step, alright? Because you don't want your wire to cross. So now you Clapton them. Alright. Now we got one. Let's get this. Alright. Let's get here. Now we got the second core. One wire here. You'll see they're big wires and they're really freaking nice. So now we put back the core in it. And again with our second piece, we do the same thing. These up. I'll show you this one. See how pretty it is. Yeah, it's a pretty damn nice wire. Alright, so see you in the next step. Alright, so we're back. Okay, like a little correction. You see, I told you about like a 3mm drill bit, but depending on what you're building it on, in this case I will use the 2mm drill bit, because if you're using a big addy, like 30mm addy, then you can use the 3mm. But if you use something smaller, like the typical 22, like this is my favorite, you guys know that velocity deck, nothing tops it for me. So it's gonna be of course on the velocity. And like I said before, it's up to you to build it the way you want it to build. That's why I rarely talk about homing and stuff like that, because you gotta measure it, because all those builds are super low. So you gotta measure it and use the appropriate mod for it. Don't put these things on tubes. Do not put these things on tube, guys. Alright? Because this doesn't belong on tube. Alright, so what we will do, it's 5 wrap on the 2mm drill bit. And as always, when you coil stuff like this, you let it coil itself. Alright, you don't pull on it. Never pull on it, because you will change all the spacing and everything in it. Alright, so 5 wrap. Pretty nice. Alright. Let's make it like this. That way you guys can see me work. Look at this. And I'll mount it. One of the reasons why I love the velocity so much is because each wire usually have their own hole. Sorry, I didn't open the holes too much. Alright, now it's mounted. Let's tight these. Need to adjust it, pull a little bit so there's no short. It's nice and tight. Then you can tighten it up. There you go. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Let's cut the leads. Beautiful. clean this a little bit. Perfect. Alright, so now let's do the second one. Look at this. It's nicer there. Alright. Zoom in. So when you do it, see, I'm just bending it, I don't pull on it. And I'm just pulling it up. Put my finger on top of it once it's there to keep it there without having to pull on it. Now we got our 5 wraps. Right, let's zoom out. Let's cut this. Alright, so this one's going below, so I'm gonna pre-cut so I don't have to pretty much go and cut it once it's mounted. Oh yeah, of course. I don't know if you guys hear scratching. That's my fat cat that wants to come and be in a video. I'll get her in a minute. Yes, miss. Right, let's mount this. Now it's in. Let's tighten this. Like, I mean, the reason why I'm making a tutorial of this build, guys, is because I've been vaping about a month on the last one that I built like this. I only had like few type of wires, so I couldn't build much. So I built that one, and it's been in my freaking Addy since, and it's so freaking flavorful. It burns just right, and I just freaking love it. So now, before I type the last one, I'm gonna pull on it, of course, to make it nice. Yeah, this is nice. And then we can tie the last one. And the way I always do it so the lead in the bottom, I don't have to cut it, because in the bottom it's always harder, and kind of disfigure coils sometime when you try to go and cut it. Okay, that's nice and tight. Yeah, pretty decent coil. And this is a lot of wires, but not something extremely hard to do. I always ask to do easier tutorial for people that love my stuff, but they're not there yet, and I only have like super advanced tutorial. Well, I will make some easier one for you guys pretty soon. So here it is. This is what it should be looking like. Alright, so now we'll put in on a mod, and we will fix this. Back in a sec. Okay, so now we're back. Oh, by the way, just a quick flash. This is a V1 Hammer of God. This is parallel, 4 parallel. Alright, the V2, if I'm correct, it's a series. Alright, but this is a parallel. If you want the safest mod on the market, get the V1 Hammer of God. So now it's time to fix it, to make it all nice. So now let's try to do some nice decent colors on this while fixing it. Alright, so now what you gotta do is to pulse it, only pulse it slowly. sure there's no shorts, nothing's touching nowhere. See, the reason why I like the velocity deck is because for big coil, you see this part usually touch the deck, but this one goes in that empty space. If you want to get colors, never bring it red. Never. Just pulse it very, very, very slow. You'll see it change colors. And that's the thing, if you see little hot spot on stuff like this, what you gotta do is you just rub it like this. Okay. After it got hot a little bit, you always make sure you tight your screws again, because sometimes they get loose with the first pulse. Okay, so now it's already changing colors. It's beautiful. I'll show you. I'm even gonna take some macro shots. Alright. Look at the colors. All the bluish and yeah. It's pretty nice. I'm gonna take some few macro shots and we'll be right back for the wicking. Alright, see you in a moment. Alright, now for the wicking. As usual, we will use the traditional technique. So we will take some cotton. I use the pads, Japanese cotton. Always thought that does for me. Alright, there's one. Always remember, not too tight, not too loose, and especially when you get those micro Clapton, you have to manage to make it perfect, so there's a lot of fiber who goes like everywhere in between. I usually go like this to make it like settle in. Right. And never put too much cotton. Because the point in this is that the cotton just touch the bottom of the well like this. That's it, that's all. No cloud, no nothing at the bottom. This way you will avoid getting dry hits. If you get a dry hit, it's because you need to wet it. And another good thing, it's like it's not gonna leak all over your fingers either. See, now that is perfect. You see the bottom of the well, you see it. You see, Very important. Alright, see you up there for the vape! Yes, we're back. Unfortunately, I don't have a fucking serious box because, like I said, something happened. My bad, because I should learn better not to let my place where some people can put their hands on it. It used to be a vape fam, but now, Alright, so let's move on to what I'm vaping on this. My favorite company, Liquid E-Juice, one of my major sponsor, sent me this one. It's called Milkshake. It's crazy. Like I said, shake, so it's milkshake, and it's actually strawberry milkshake. It doesn't come in a unicorn bottle like this. They usually come in a 60 milliliter bottle. Alright, but I had problem with my cap, so I had to transfer it in other bottles, so I put it in a unicorn bottle since I work a lot and I can slid it into my tool belt. Alright, so you can get some of this at this place right here in the bottom, Liquid E-Juice. They got awesome juice. They got like other juice like this one, Thirst. It's pretty fucking good. Of course, they bring out some new U-turn all the time, and now in 60 milliliters bottle. Pretty awesome. They have different flavors, and you can get those for pretty freaking cheap. This is one of my favorite too. Cake flavors, they got plenty of it. Like the crack pie I just showed you. It's crazy. Anyway, let's move on to this build. This build is made for series box, like I was saying, because it's a 0.5 ohm. Like this one is actually a 0.5 ohm, and there's a lot of wires, so you need power. You will love the result of it. It's flavors. Like, as you can see, there's so much room for the juice to get in. It's insane, and you will love this one, this Claptoniac build. Like I said, I named my build. They're easier to find when you search it on YouTube, since I don't have time to look at other people's builds. Sometimes I can scan through Instagram and stuff like that and see what people are doing right now, and that's pretty much it, because I like to do the opposite. I like to do stuff that not everybody do, so and put it on video so you guys can actually make it. So yeah, this is this build, and I'd like to say once again, I'm very sorry for the space in between the videos. This one could have been posted a little earlier, but I had a little accident, and that put me out of the game for a little bit. But I am back, and with winters coming, trust me, you're gonna see a lot more videos. I want to bring new concept, and you guys will see the ghost, this guy right here, maybe a little more with some other stunts and stuff like that coming soon. Alright, and thanks everybody that's been sharing my videos. Thanks for the rod video. I know it's a new concept, but I never expected to be that popular. Thanks everybody. Special thanks to some guys I've been talking to for a little bit, and he's a fan, and he's from down under Australia, Baz. Yeah, shout out to you, buddy. Keep on doing the good job. Keep on bringing followers to yourself, to your group. You're a great guy. Keep on watching my videos, of course. I want to say special thanks to all those guys in UK that been sending me tons and tons of message about what I do. Also thanks to the people in Californians especially, because I get a lot of feedback from you guys, LA and all that surrounding. Alright, so thank you so much, and keep on watching the video. Make sure to subscribe, to share the videos, and I will come up with some new shit pretty damn soon. Alright, and make sure to wear freaking, where did I put them? I had some protection glasses now to wear when I play with and cut some wires, so I don't damage one eye. What else? Oh yeah, another thing people been asking me in my videos. Yes, I'm using a tool. Some of you don't know that tool. It's better that way, and some of you guys recognize that tool. I used to be a locksmith. That's why I have this. This is a lockpick. Alright, and I use it to wick my thing, but I used to be a locksmith, and I can probably still be, but I do other things now. Alright, but that's why I'm using this. Yes, it is a lockpick. Don't look for one, because there's other tools that you can actually use that does the same thing, like this one, because I use this one a lot in my videos too, and it's a dentist, a little dentist fucking thing. Alright, so yeah guys, take it easy. See you soon in another video. Make sure to comment and tell me what you think about this build, and make sure to share it, and be good. Alright, let's take a bit again. Oh, and by the way, again, if you want to be featured in some of my videos, you got some stuff, some cool stuff you would like to see in the videos, get in contact with me. It'll be a pleasure. You see, this is just parallel. Just imagine what that do with a series box. So, peace guys. Talk to you soon in another video. Alright?